Bitcoin, again, got rejected yesterday at resistance, but it's trying again. You do have a little inverse head and shoulders here. So I am actually 50-50 on this breaking, maybe even slightly favoring a break, especially if the stock market can continue to push here. If the stock market keeps floating, then Bitcoin's going up. And again, the chart on Bitcoin is actually a little bit of a bullish near-term pattern. And so it could be telling us that it is likely to head up.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge.
Gareth Soloway, crypto strategist. Today, Bitcoin cycles, altcoin setups, risk management, chart psychology. Stay tuned and watch to learn more now.
You're probably seeing a new trend line on the Qs. Let me explain this. So remember, we were using a parallel, okay? There was a parallel, I believe it was right in here, that went up to this point here, right? So again, essentially a parallel channel. Now, as I was looking at this, I was saying to myself, okay, you breached it down here, and then you recaptured it. Once you start chopping through something in technical analysis, right? And just to give you guys an example, let's draw a educational trend line here, and then I'll use my arrow tool. Well, we'll just use our brush tool. So a lot of times you'll come down, you'll bounce, you'll come down, you'll bounce, you'll come down. Once you go like this, it becomes a little bit like Swiss cheese. Now, this was only one break below, and it never confirmed, but it still does a little bit of damage to the chart pattern where I say to myself, okay, Gareth, you're the expert here. Go find something that's more important than what we're just using, right? Find a better trend line that will guide you to when the market breaks down more accurately. And sometimes there's nothing, right? But it's my job to always be pushing myself. And this is, by the way, just in life, push yourself. You can always do better. I always say to people, guys, is that if someone out there is working 12-hour days, I'm going to work a 13-hour day. If someone's working a 15-hour day, I'll work a 17-hour day. I don't care. I'm going to go harder than anyone else. And that's the mentality that makes me succeed. And I know you all have it in you. If you're right here watching now, don't let anyone tell you otherwise. We always have more time. We have to make choices, granted. All right, do I not get to go out and hang out with my friends sometimes because I'm working? Yeah, and that's a choice that I make. But I'm proud to make that choice because ultimately it makes me more successful.
Bitcoin's latest move looks like a classic post-euphoria cooldown, and on-chain researchers say the script isn't finished. Glassnode's week on-chain notes Bitcoin is consolidating between roughly $104,100 and $114,300, a corridor that has historically followed fresh all-time highs. With price near $112,000, research argues seller exhaustion may only arrive if BTC dips toward $104,000, mirroring prior bull market pullbacks. A decisive bounce above $114,300, by contrast, would hint that demand has regained control and the uptrend is stabilizing. Short-term holders are driving the drama. These fast-moving wallets saw their share in profit plunge from above 90% to around 42% on the drop to $108,000, flipping sentiment from overheated to stressed in days. When profitability whipsaws like this, they often sell into weakness, then quickly tire of taking losses, setting the stage for rebounds, like the snapback to $112,000. Bottom line, watch the $104,000 to $114,300 range. A flush to the lower bound could reset the rally. Strength above it could restart the climb.
My time will come. And I don't mean to get off on tangents here, but, you have all this kind of mentality of like work-life balance, like, oh, well, I only want to work 8 hours a day or 5 hours a day, and that's fine. I'm okay with that. But you have to understand the difference here. I've chosen a different path. I've said my work-life balance is that in the beginning of my life of work, I'm going to work my tail off for 20 plus years. And when I'm 50 or 47 or 45, I'm going to say, okay, now I get my life balance. So I work my butt off early and have my work-life balance, meaning that later in life, I have no cares. I have all the money I need. I can live comfortably and do everything I want. Now, other people, they say, nah, I don't really want to do that. I want the instant gratification, which is fine. I totally respect that. I want the instant gratification, and instead, I'll just work a medium amount of hours and just put it in. That's okay, but then you got to work to 60 or 70 years old, and even then, you may find yourself with a little bit of, financial stress later in life. What if you need long-term care? What if you go, all these different things. And so the thing is that I agree with work-life balance, but we all get to make choices in life, and we live by those choices. And for me, at least, I love to point that out, is that you can make other choices. You can decide to have that work-life balance now when you're younger, or you can say, you know what, I'm going to grind it out, go nuts. I'm going to make a ton of money so that I can relax and do what I want later in life a lot earlier than other people. All right, I don't know why I got on this tangent, guys. These are just thoughts that are in my head sometimes, and I always like to, you guys are like my outlet, my therapy, and I appreciate that. All right, back to the charts, guys. In any case, what my point is here on this chart of the QQQ is that you have this trend line from this high going back to June to the low here of August, to the low here in late August, to the low here on September 2nd. And this line now is becoming the optimal line where I'm going to watch. And if it breaks here and confirms, it's game on to the downside. All right. And it's actually a little bit lower than the parallel channel, which can also still be used. But I actually think this one, to me, based on my analysis, is more accurate and will give me a better guide to if and when the market on the QQQ breaks down.
MYX Finance is a decentralized perpetuals exchange with a twist. Instead of a classic order book or AMM, it routes traders into a shared matching pool mechanism that pairs longs and shorts later, aiming for near zero slippage while staying fully on-chain. Contracts are USDC margined with up to 50x leverage, and pricing comes from a dual oracle system. So why did the MYX token rocket roughly 1,400% to an all-time high near $18.42 in 7 days? A splashy catalyst was the planned listing of World Liberty Financial's WLFI, a project linked to Donald Trump's orbit, which drew fresh attention. Visibility on Binance Alpha and surging derivatives participation helped too, with open interest exploding and aggressive daily short liquidations squeezing price higher. Low circulating supply plus high leverage turned those forced buybacks into fuel. But on-chain sleuths are waving red flags. A 39 million token unlock overlapped the pump. Unusual volume patterns hint at whale coordination. And the RSI spiked into the 89 to 97 zone. Analysts warn gains could unwind 70 to 85% toward the 20-50-day EMA area around $2.72 to $5.10 as seller fatigue sets in soon. If you have been watching so far, thank you so much for watching, and do not forget to subscribe to BitcoinZella for daily news, all for free. That's all for today's video. Until next time.